Good morning. I think you've heard my name about 804 times, so there's no way you don't know who I am at this point. But let's give Stantec another round of applause. So I've been with the partnership almost 30 years, and clearly this event has been our opportunity, not just to talk about the future, but talk about some of the successes. We're in the 29th year, and we are a year away from renewal of our own organization. Over the years, during these breakfasts, we've had plenty of opportunities to celebrate with you, but now I do feel like we're in the trenches together as we lay downtown's path forward. And so I want to be aspirational today. I want to have some conversation that we start talking about where we're going and be excited and work together. It's our honor to welcome you to our downtown breakfast. You can clap. So Sacramento, like every downtown across the country, is in a state of transition. There is not a downtown organization that is not trying to figure out what's next. And we know with change comes opportunity. It's a real chance for us in a moment to chart a new future. If we're not championing big ideas, we truly feel that we're managing decline. Over the past year, we've embraced the notion that in order to be successful, we must evolve from being a destination of obligation, as we heard, to being a destination of choice. To do that, we needed to focus and obsess over the fundamentals critical to a vibrant urban center. So what did we do? We increased our public space services over 30%. We know perception is not only critical, but mandatory if we are going to achieve success. We fought for common sense policies to further future investment capital in our region. I greatly appreciate the support of Supervisor Cerna. I think he's right here. He and the county gave us some additional resources that really will help us focus on some of these key areas. We added downtown resources to address the needs of the most vulnerable and directly connect them to much needed services. This work focuses on empathy through action and would not have been achievable without the many partners from the public sector that are in the room with us today. I want to acknowledge Brian Pedro, the Director of Community Response, our Assistant City Manager, Mario Lara, the entire city staff, Peter Lemos with Code Enforcement for their involvement in supporting us. I'm not sure where he's at, but I think we all deserve some appreciation for our city manager, Howard Chan, our police chief, Kathy Lester, and our captain, Bryce Heinlein. They have been relentless in resources to provide for the city core, and we appreciate that. We also altered our Calling All Dreamers business incubator program with a changing landscape downtown, and I know this year's cohorts are with us, some here today. These owners of unique concepts parallel downtown story. We honor their diversity and integrity that they bring to our community. So we created comfortable spaces, increased visitation into the district, and increased sales tax downtown. We leveraged our community partnerships, elevated creatives, and supported events and activations with outside event producers. I'd like to thank Assemblymember Kevin McCarty for his support in making a lot of these events and activations possible. We're also happy to announce this year, and this is an opportunity for you to break out your roller skates, we will be having a downtown roller rink. Chris Delfino, a professional roller skater, I know is super excited about it. But with our partners at the Hall of Fame who are here with us today, we think it's going to be a great opportunity. So through everything this last year, we fought to bring value downtown. We educated, we influenced, we activated, but it also marked the turning point in the future of downtown, and a turning point really in my own perspective. This is an opportunity for us to embrace new opportunities that are going to redefine our central city. 10 years ago, we seized that moment when the Sacramento Kings were going to leave California. We doubled down as a community to build the Golden One Center, and it is now the highest performing ticket sales venue in the country. We now need to capitalize on the momentum that Mike Testa and his team at Visit Sacramento have created within the leisure economy Through their festivals and venues like this, the Safe Credit Union Convention Center, they have made a huge difference and continue to put Sacramento on the map, and we thank them. So bottom line, we need to invest in people. From the child who ice skates for the first time at Ali Yousefi Square, to the returning graduate who attends a Kings game at the Golden One Center, to the senior citizen who has access to housing and health care at the brand new state-of-the-art medical facility coming to the rail yards. These are the brightest reflections of what we can accomplish when we take ownership in creating vibrant central neighborhoods for everyone. So while our team was laying the groundwork and addressing the here and now, we were also working with local economists and national city planners to focus on our future. We realized that with faster reactive responses to downtown concerns, we also needed to be equally proactive. We invested more in studies and economic modeling because data should drive these decisions. Outside of Washington, D.C., and this is important, no other city center in the country is more impacted by government remote work policies than Sacramento. 70% of the office inventory in the central city is owned or leased by the public sector. Prior to 2020, the state of California employed 70,000 employees in the downtown area. So we needed to get an accurate perspective, an independent view, if you will, on our current landscape. As Kip talked about, we retained Dr. Sanjay Varshney to really commission a study that modeled the impacts of work from home. And as we heard, if Sacramento continued on its current path, we would be looking at a loss of over $4.3 billion over the next 20 years. This is the reality if we do not do something drastic. But successful cities turn deficits into assets and disasters into definitive moments. 30 years ago, when Sacramento's 3 military bases closed, a realignment strategy came with that decision, a proactive approach to a unified vision to ensure successful implementation. We are here today at our own base closing moment. We can no longer expect office workers to simply return to 2019 levels. The world has changed, and we must evolve if we are going to stay and be a competitive city. If we are truly going to be a destination of choice for residents, event attendees, aspiring entrepreneurs, for the creative economy, and yes, still in-office personal collaboration, then we should be focused on motivating rather than mandating. Office space will still be a strong foundation for downtown. It fuels collaboration and innovation. We have missed many of you downtown, but we have been over-reliant. We must diversify our portfolio to one that also focuses on the key components of building a well-rounded downtown that is worth living in. Earlier this month, we hosted, as you heard, an Urban Land Institute technical advisory panel. I want to thank Randy Sater and Mary Clemente for leading that. We brought downtown experts to Sacramento and had them interview local developers, city staff, Sacramento placemakers, industry leaders to identify key areas of opportunity for downtown. I know she's not here today, but I do want to acknowledge Senator Ashby for her leadership in forming this panel and her advocacy and commitment to strengthen downtown at the state level and impact our region. This will be just one of the tools that the partnership will use to usher in this new era of opportunity as we look at renewal of our business improvement district. We will release the panel's formal recommendation after our breakfast today. Follow the Downtown Partnership's LinkedIn page. You will find all of this information there. So this once-in-a-generation moment will take many leaders, stakeholders, studies, and investments to do something of this magnitude. We know that. Every phase of the creation of the new downtown will require participation from every person in this room. What we're going to do is focus on 5 key priorities. First, let's play to our strengths, things we know that work. Arts and entertainment create value downtown and provide investment potential. Not only has visitation and hospitality recovered the fastest, but entertainment districts distinguish urban cores from suburbs and attract residents to our region. We must continue to grow residential downtown. Many of you in the room are housing developers. Keep it up. We need you. This work makes a difference. Residents add vitality and support local businesses. We all want more residents downtown. One of the key things we heard in the study, focus on the missing middle. Create residential neighborhoods that include, yes, housing, but also require amenities that make people want to live here and be part of an urban neighborhood. We must enhance existing open spaces and green Sacramento streets. We have underutilized spaces like Cesar Chavez Plaza, which we've worked on with Councilmember Katie Valenzuela, and other spaces like Capitol Mall and the waterfront. We must transform them into inviting third places for families and outdoor venues. I want to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge our mayor, Darrell Steinberg, for his support, yes, of the waterfront, but his leadership in large-scale amenities have been crucial in the next phase of the Central City, and we must continue to think big. We would not have had the expansion of this convention center and the Golden One Center without his advocacy, and this will be the last year as mayor. He will be here at our breakfast, and we wish him nothing but the best. We must also foster Sacramento's unique economic strengths and grow academic and research investment downtown. Tech businesses have started relocating to Sacramento. The work GSAC is doing is making a huge difference, and a strong foundation exists around agriculture, food, health, and education with universities like Sacramento State and UC Davis. Why not grow a higher education with a campus downtown? Expanding on current opportunities will also shape Sacramento's identity for workers and employers and create options for the reuse of vacant buildings. One thing that remains clear to all of us, none of this happens if downtown is not clean and safe. Perception leads every discussion we have on downtown. We must continue to advocate for a safer and cleaner downtown. I would be remiss if I did not thank our many PBID partners. I know a lot of them are in the room with us today. We work daily behind the scenes with them to move the needle on necessary items to make Sacramento a more enjoyable place for all. I'd also like to recognize our many business organizations, chamber organizations, and association partners that are here, and also a shout out to the Chamber's new president and CEO, Robert Haidt. Robert, welcome to Sacramento, and we look forward to working with you. So these 5 pillars will be critically important to this organization, but they're not our only priorities. These recommendations are only a piece of the puzzle in our efforts to lead downtown to a more sustainable and resilient economy. In closing, I want to say this. We need to rethink the value proposition of what downtown is, not what it was. No one thinks of Atlanta, Boston, Nashville, or Austin as government hubs first. They are vibrant centers for culture, innovation, and hospitality, and yes, they also happen to be capital cities. The moment found those cities. It's now time we find ours.